Magic one more time. This is why you play so hard for 6 months. KG and the Celtics earn the right to host these pressure games. Home teams have won 80% of Game 7s in NBA history, but the Cavaliers have never won a winner-take-all game on the road. For the second straight year, LeBron and the underdog Cavs can shock the basketball world. Game 7 coming up right now.
It was a season to remember. A magical journey that rejuvenated a franchise. But that seems so long ago.
They're going back to Boston for Game 7.
These playoffs have not been kind for Boston.
Anything less than a championship is a failure. It's all about that ring.
Pushed to the brink again as another elimination game looms. Only this time, there is one to fear.
LeBron James with no regard for human life.
LeBron James has dazzled on the playoff road before.
It's the layup and a foul.
Will Magic strike again? Cavaliers, Celtics, Game 7, win or go home. It all unfolds next on ABC.
Welcome to GMC NBA Countdown.
The Cavaliers and Celtics have played one Game 7 in their history almost 16 years ago to the day, May 17th, 1992. Cleveland beat Boston 122-104 in the conference semis. It was Larry Bird's last game, the end of his career. Here we go again. And you know what? You can cough up any cliche-riddled catchphrase you want. Do or die, all or nothing, win or go home. They all apply. Welcome to Game 7 on GMC NBA Countdown. Stuart Scott, Michael Wilbon, John Barry. Guys, either the Celtics will go 19-5 all-time in Game 7s, or LeBron James will lead the Cavaliers to their second straight conference final, something that franchise has never done. A lot of special things about Game 7s, right?
Yes.
What is the most special thing about a Game 7?
It's so rare, Stuart. I mean, you just can go a long time without seeing them. 62 NBA seasons. This is only the 99th Game 7 ever. Magic Johnson only played in 4. Larry Bird only played in 3. Michael Jordan only played in 3. Sometimes you don't get a Game 7.
How many playoff games have there been?
3,100 playoff games.
And you've seen probably 3,000 of those 3,100?
No, not that many.
Well, as a player, it's so special, but what you have to be careful of is don't try to do things you're not capable of doing. Don't think about the history. Yes, they're huge games. Stay within yourself, play your game, and act like it's not that big of a game.
That's a
tough
big
to do.
That's Academy Award-winning act. Boston was a league best 31-10 on the road during the regular season, winless on the road this entire postseason. Here's how we got here in this particular series. Game 1, showdown between the 1 and 4 seeds in the East. The tone was set, physical, low scoring. LeBron James struggled, only 12 points. How did LeBron shoot just 2 from 18 from the field in Game 1, John?
Defense.
And they still should have won the game, the Cavs.
They should have.
Kevin Garnett had 28 points, Celtics in a winner, 76-72. Game 2, Paul Pierce and the C's came out fighting, y'all. Despite this dunk, LeBron again 6 for 24. I guess the defense held up.
Defense is held up. That's the one thing the Celtics have done.
There was a Ray Allen sighting for the only time in this series. Ray had 16 in the second half. Boston a 2-zip series lead, 89-73. In Cleveland for Game 3, the momentum shifted. LeBron and the Cavs ran away with it. Were you surprised, John?
Absolutely not. They stink on the road, and they did it in Game 3.
Boston a 108-84 win in Game 3. Game 4, LeBron and Paul Pierce got tangled up. You don't really see it here, but LeBron's mom was on the baseline. She got into there. Kevin's like, yo, mom, ease up, ease up, ease up. And the dunk of the series, which lit a fire. Michael, what'd you say? Can't get tired of what?
Ever get tired of seeing it? Maybe in 6 or 7 years I'll say, okay, enough of that dunk, but not now.
We go back to Boston, even in the series at 2-2. Game 5, Celtics responded home. Daniel Gibson separated his shoulder, out for the series. Boston overcame a slow start to pull away. And how about Rajon Rondo, John Barry?
Oh, the Celtics are pretty good at home. And Rondo, one of those role players, seems to play well at home all the time.
20 points, 13 assists. KG and Pierce combined for 55. Back in Cleveland for Game 6. Crazy momentum swing at the end of the first half. Delonte West hit this 3. Did that just sink Boston's will at that point?
Doc Rivers talks about body language. It wasn't real good after that shot to end the half, Stuart.
Second half, Cavs did just enough to hold off the Celtics and force today's decisive Game 7. The Celtics rode these playoffs, not been paid with victories, but at home they have been golden, just like everybody else in this round. 21-2 home teams in this round, the best record since the merger. Will it be home sweet home again for Beantown?
Game 7 in our building. Cleveland is the reigning Eastern Conference champion, so we didn't by any means think it was going to be easy. You know, we're in Game 7 in our building, and this is why we did what we did during the regular season to get to this point.
Who was that?
That was Ray Allen. Oh, you haven't seen much of it. You play for the best record in the league so that any Game 7s will be on your home court. But this will be Boston's 14th playoff pressure-packed game in less than a month. What's the biggest reason they should be concerned?
I wouldn't have any concern. If we see the team that we have seen at home throughout these playoffs, they've been dominant. 7-0, win by over 40 against Atlanta in Game 7. But the disparity in this team from home to road is unbelievable. There's no explanation for what's going on league-wide with this trend, but this team is completely different. They are dominant at home, giving up just 77 points a game. If we see that team, they are going to be fine. And here's a little note. No team has ever played 7 games in the first 2 series and won an NBA championship. So if they do get through, I think they're still in a little bit of trouble to go all the way.
With older players who are going to be legitimately tired.
There's a big concern if you're Boston. Big concern. About 6'9", 260 pounds worth of concern. The great, great, great players claim Game 7s. They've done it throughout history, going back to Bill Russell, coming all the way through these times. And LeBron James is the best player on the court. We've seen him dominate playoff games, even on the road in Washington. In Detroit last year, Game 5, 48 points, 25 consecutive points, 30 of his team's final 31. That's as much a concern as you have. They left themselves no margin for error, John. You mentioned the road futilities, and now LeBron gets to come in with seemingly a lot less pressure than the Boston Celtics.
I hate to give this guy another shot.
You know, the Celtics are probably like, gulp.
We're good.
The Celtics were admittedly tight and somewhat nervous before Game 7 of the Atlanta Hawks series. But for this Game 7, these guys are loosey-goosey. After a shoot-around and a short walkthrough yesterday, some of the guys on the team engaged in a long series of semi-friendly but spirited games of one-on-one. It's a round-robin one-on-one tournament they called Knockout. And after a lot of trash talking, Paul Pierce with the knockout blow, a high arcing jumper right in the face of Ray Allen. Speaking of getting in the face, Big Ben will get up in your grill. Oh, Ben got it blowed out today. No cornrows. He got the fro blowed out. Ben Wallace will try and take his team to the conference finals against his old team. Game 7 coming up. We're coming back. 18-5 all-time, which is the best in NBA history. 15-3 when they're at home. And today is Boston's 3rd straight series to go 7 games. That goes back to a first-round loss against the Pacers in 2005. Look, LeBron James is just a man-child. That's given. But he's only shooting 32% in this series. And even though he's averaged like 33 a game the last 2 games, he hasn't had yet a breakout shooting series in this whole postseason, at least for this round. There he is coming out in the court. If LeBron shoots like lights out in this game, can he win this game by himself?
Well, I think that's what it's going to take, Stuart. And Mike mentioned the Game 5 against the Detroit Pistons where he went nuts for 48. He scored 30 the last 31. He's going to have that type of performance today for Cleveland to win. But this is a different team. This is the best defense in the league. We saw it. They've been bottling it up all series. I think LeBron has to do something he did in Game 5 last year for the Cavs to have a chance, and I just don't see it happening.
See, I don't think he has to score 40 points necessarily for Cleveland to win the game, JB. Even though
39?
Well, not necessarily, because, yes, people compare him all the time. People talk about him and Jordan and Kobe, and those guys are the great finishers, really, of all time. But LeBron has a Magic Johnson component to his game. He can defer. I shouldn't even say defer. He can make his other teammates get involved. He needs shooting from Wally Szczerbiak, from Delonte West. He needs shooting and rebounding from Ilgauskas. He needs probably both defense and shooting and rebounding from Joe Smith. But he can orchestrate all of that in the way Magic did. You can look up and LeBron can have 24, 25 points, triple-double, have made his impact all over the game. I don't think he's going to get 40-plus points against that defense in Boston today.
I thought Magic had some better players than LeBron.
He does.
I don't know.
Couple of different better players. In addition to his off-shooting, LeBron also has 35 turnovers in this series. Granted, when you're double and triple team, that's like, 4 and 6 arms trying to take the ball away from you. But those 35 turnovers are the second most in a single postseason since they began keeping those stats 30 years ago. 3 turnovers today, and LeBron will make it 38 and break the record held by our good buddy Charles Barkley in the 1986 conference semis. But why was Charles handling the rock all the time anyway?
LeBron James, Boston's big three. Only one team will advance. The other will go home. A decisive Game 7 in Boston is next on ABC.
Back up to Boston to get a better idea. Mike Breen, Mark Jackson, and Jeff Van Gundy. Guys, what's up?
All right, Stuart. Well, the Cavs are greeted warmly here at the TD Bank North Garden. A hearty helping of boos from the Celtic fans as they try and cheer on their home team to advance to the next round. Of course, LeBron James and the Cavs trying to win on the road for the first time this series, and LeBron with arm and shelter for you.
Mike, thank you very much. LeBron, after 6 games in this series with these guys and getting to know them and the way they're playing now, what gives you guys the best chance to win today?
Well, we can't turn the ball over. We haven't done a great job of protecting the ball while we've been on this court. We need to protect the ball and close out quarters the right way and give ourselves a chance to win.
You have been getting progressively better with your all-around game through the course of this series. What does that do for you as you enter this final elimination game?
Well, I know I got a lot of confidence in my game. My teammates is ready. It gets no better than this. Given 7 games in the Garden, it gets no better than this. You either win or go home.
Good luck, LeBron.
All right, thanks.
Mike, back to you.
Well, Michelle, the Celtics have certainly done an excellent job defensively on LeBron James, even with the last 2 games. And they're not going to change what they do defensively. You know that they're going to try and get somebody else to beat them, try and take the ball out of his hands. So today, certainly it's every game, but so important today, Mark, somebody else has got to come up and really help LeBron James.
Well, it's crucial. Had an opportunity to talk to Coach Mike Brown. He says, hey, it's important for other guys to make plays. You talk about Joe Smith, who's been special on the block and also in pick-and-roll situations. They are at their best when Delonte West is aggressive, looking to attack offensively. And Coach Wally Szczerbiak has been here to be a shot maker. It is big time for him to take the pressure off of LeBron James.
And for the Celtics, for me, it's got to be Kevin Garnett having the mentality to shoot and score as much as necessary for them to get this Game 7 win. If he's single covered in the post, he's got to go to work. He's got too high of release. He's too quick in the post for them to single cover. He's got to go at him, even against soft double teams. Mike, Garnett has got to come up huge today.
Garnett has never been the type of player with a mindset, I'm going to dominate the game. He'll just do whatever it takes to win. But the way Paul Pierce and Ray Allen have been defended, the way they've struggled shooting the ball, he just may have to do so this afternoon, Stuart.
Thanks, guys. We hit the video vault for this one. Celtics Game 7s in the conference semifinal round 1977. You can be in your deathbed and say, do you want a last meal and watch Dr. J highlights? What are you going to say?
Julius.
Oh! Can never that was Walton. That was Walton. 1984, Larry Bird, one of his best performances in a Game 7 win against the Knicks. 39 points, 12 boards, 12 assists. UB could only watch. 87, Celtics Bucks, Kevin McHale, way too much. How about the short shorts?
They should bring those back for more than a half.
No.
Yes, they should. Come on.
Yeah. 1988, the famous back and forth fourth quarter between Bird and Dominique. Larry Legend had 34, Neek with 47, but
Boston wins. It's always in Game 7s, it seems.
And back in 92, Larry Bird's last game, Brad Daugherty with 27 points and some race car driving in his mind. Cavaliers beat Bird and the Celtics. This is Kevin Garnett's 9th playoff appearance, but only the 2nd time he's been out of the first round. Will he make it to the conference finals? Cavs and Celtics. Winner takes on Detroit Tuesday night. The loser has all summer to think about what went wrong.
Earthquake that the country suffered.
The NBA
This his time. John Barry, what are the GMC keys to winning a Game 7?
Stuart, whose superstar will rise to the occasion? As an athlete, these are the moments you live for. These are the games you dream about. Game 7, the nerves, the intensity, the pressure. These are the games when the great ones step up and deliver. The keys to a Game 7 win might take an unprecedented performance like Bill Russell in Game 7 of the '62 NBA Finals. The Celtics needed every one of Russell's 30 points and 40 rebounds to win in overtime. Will Kevin Garnett be able to fill those shoes and come up big? KG already leads the Celtics in points and rebounds, but he will need to dig deeper for Game 7. Then there's the inspirational boost. Willis Reed limping out for Game 7 of the '70 Finals. Reed's presence was enough to inspire Clyde Frazier and the Knicks to victory. LeBron James needs to forget his 6-game shooting struggles in this series and inspire his Cavaliers to victory in Game 7 on the road.
All right, Celtics on the road in Ophir for the playoffs. Who wins Game 7 today, guys? Somebody say something. Don't be scared.
I'm going with the home trend. I went out on a limb and said a couple road victories the other night. I was half right, but I got to go with Boston at home. They've been so dominant, and I just don't think LeBron James by himself can get this done. I don't see anybody helping him.
Michael, you have angst about this.
I do. Nothing would surprise me here, including a great LeBron James game. Boston at home, 18-3 at home in Game 7s. I'm not going to go against history, not now.
If the Celtics lose today, Doc Rivers will be just the second coach ever to lose 2 Game 7s at home in his career. Starting lineups coming up after this message from your ABC stations. We will see you at halftime. Game 7 right now.
Another sellout crowd in Boston. These fans have cheered their team on to a perfect 7-0 playoff record. And they're trying to make it another one to advance them to the conference finals. Kevin Garnett. Now the Boston Celtics all tied up with LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers. 3 games apiece. Right now, let's get today's starting lineups presented by Taco Bell. And send it to PA announcer Eddie Palladino.
Today's opening lineups are brought to you by TD Bank North, the official bank of the Boston Celtics. First, for the visiting Cleveland Cavaliers, at guard, 6'7" from Miami of Ohio, number 10, Wally Szczerbiak. At the other guard, 6'4" from St. Joe's, number 13, Delonte West. At center, 7'3" from Lithuania, number 11, Zydrunas Ilgauskas. At one forward, 6'9" from Virginia Union, number 4, Ben Wallace. And at the other forward, 6'8" from St. Vincent St. Mary's High School, number 23, LeBron James. The head coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers is Mike Brown.
Well, at the risk of saying basketball blasphemy, sounds a little like the old Garden in here as we get set for Game 7 here in Boston. That just sounds right. Game 7 in Boston. Well, everyone, along with Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy, Mike Breen on hand. Michelle Tafoya will join us shortly. But this is a Game 7 that the Celtics would have preferred not to have played because they're going up against a superstar in LeBron James. And what makes him so tough, Mark, is the fact that he can beat you in so many different ways.
You take a look at LeBron James shooting just 32% from the field in this series. But the guy is special, and he has to be special for his team in Game 7. Able to be a facilitator and make plays for other guys. He is crucial.
Well, he's also been dominant on the defensive end, holding Paul Pierce to 36% shooting and leading them in steals and in block shots.
Meanwhile, for the Boston Celtics, this season's all about the big three with Garnett, Pierce, and Ray Allen. This is why they got these guys to join Pierce here. What do they need to do today, Jeff?
They need to establish Kevin Garnett in the post early and often against single coverage, and then either Ray Allen or Paul Pierce has to get in rhythm early in the game to provide enough scoring punch they can score enough to win.
Well, I tell you what they need to do. This is Game 7. Earn your nickname. You're the big three. Capture the moment and take advantage.
Right now, let's check in with Michelle. Hey, Michelle.
Hey, Mike. Well, before the game, Mike Brown said LeBron James may have struggled with his shot early in this series, but you cannot slow him down for 7 straight games, and the Celtics know that, too. Doc Rivers told us we know eventually we're going to have to win a game. When LeBron plays great, we've been prepared and ready for that all series long, and we can still win with LeBron playing great. And for that reason, Mike, they will not guard LeBron any differently today than they have all season long, all series long.
Well, there's certainly no need to change despite the last 2 games where he's obviously played better, scored 30 points plus more. They have still done an excellent job on him in the series.
Yeah, Boston's problem right now is not defense, it's offense. Where are they going to get their points? You cannot score under 80 points 3 times in a series and expect to advance. Tonight, they've got to put points on the board.
Of course, this is the second Game 7 for the Boston Celtics. They had to do it in the first round. They won the previous Game 7 by 34 against the Atlanta Hawks, but obviously a higher level of opponent than the Cavs, and a man like LeBron James always so dangerous. Well, the smoke will clear, hopefully in a couple of minutes, from all the pyrotechnics and the talcum powder that the Stars throw up there. The fans are ready. The players say they're ready. Mark, you played in Game 7s as a player. Is there really anything different from a Game 7 than anything else in terms of the start the game?
Well, really not. What you have to do is make sure that you continue to do the little things. Those are the things that's going to get you over the hump, and that's the way you come out of here with a victory. Pay attention to detail.
Again, the Celtics a perfect 7-0 at home in the playoffs. The Cavaliers, meanwhile, won a couple of road games in their first-round series against Washington, but 0 for 3 in this series. Good defense from Zerbiak. Kendrick Perkins taking his time, blocked by Wallace. Still Celtic ball with 6 on the shot clock.
You know, one thing that Coach touched on early in the series, Ray Allen came off that down screen wide open. The pass was off point, not allowing him to catch and shoot. Rondo has to put the pass on the number.
Rondo had a great Game 5, struggled Game 6. Kevin Garnett's first shot won't go. But Rondo, an excellent rebounding guard, able to haul it in. Watching Pierce and James, as Pierce puts in the first one, watching these 2 big-time scorers defend each other has been a lot of fun because they both up their defense.
Well, they both competed at such a high level defensively, and they've negated each other offensively for the most part.
The chance of defense from the crowd that watched during the regular season. The Celtics, the best defensive team in the NBA. There's a case in point. 3-on-1 the other way. Pierce to the basket. James the rebound. Boy, he got whacked. Doc Rivers irate, and he has every right.
That's a foul.
Pierce still yelling at Kenny Maurer. That's a foul. He's quoting you, Jeff. Ilgauskas, tough fall-away shot. And Garnett the rebound. Quick outlet to Allen.
And Mike Brown talked about early getting Ilgauskas involved offensively, but he can't settle for that type of shot.
Bad pass from Allen. Let's take a look at Pierce's drive. Wally Zerbiak stayed right with him. Ooh, you know, on second look, I'm not so sure.
Not so sure. I disagree with Pierce and Coach Van Gundy. That's good defense by Wally.
I stand corrected. Hey, when you're wrong, you can either fight it or say you were wrong.
Kenny Merrill, we apologize as West knocks down the shot.
I'm not going that far. I'm not apologizing to a ref. I was wrong. That's as far as I'm willing to take it.
Meanwhile, Delonte West, who again, you watch his game, not the prettiest of game, doesn't have numbers that blow you away, but he has been very effective as Pierce opens up exactly the way the Celtics would have loved. A couple of good jump shots early.
Well, one of the things that LeBron James has trouble with is screens on the ball. He's such a big body, it's hard to negotiate those screens as he knocks it in, which allows Pierce some separation.
And we talk so much about the Celtic defense. The Cavs defense in this series has been equally as impressive, if not more, at some point. Pierce very aggressive early, not that time.
But it's been all jump shots, Mike. They've got to find Kevin Garnett in the post so they can get at the basket.
West goes right at Rondo, his former teammate, but he used his right arm, and an offensive foul on Delonte West. Well, the Cavs will get back on defense where they have been just superb. Look at those numbers, especially from three-point shooting.
The Celtics averaged 100 points in the regular season. And I'm surprised. Cleveland's a good, solid defensive team, but not a great one, Mark. I'm surprised Boston's had so much trouble scoring.
They've done a great job of realizing how the Celtics can hurt them and taking them out of those things.
Most notably, Ray Allen and Paul Pierce. Zerbiak now on Pierce on this possession. Garnett, good wide open shot.
I really like the aggressiveness of Paul Pierce early. Missed the last jump shot, but continues to look to make plays. That time puts it on the floor and finds Garnett.
The teams are combined 5 or 8. An offensive explosion on what has been so far one of the lowest scoring playoff series in the history of the NBA. Zerbiak misses. Garnett, tough rebound in traffic. Of course, as we mentioned, Celtics with the Game 7 experience against Atlanta. Garnett also had a big Game 7 experience when he was with Minnesota. Had one of the best games of his career. Gets inside, feeding Perkins. Ilgauskas grabbed his jersey, and Perkins still able to put it in.
You know, see what the Cavs are doing. They're trapped in pick-and-roll situations, whether it be Pierce or Allen. Those guys have to get rid of the basketball and trust that other guys will make plays. That time it was KG.
Ilgauskas can't get it to fall. Garnett, yet another rebound already with 4. Pierce to Rondo. Rondo on the drive. Nice feed to Perkins, blocked by Zerbiak, but a foul. Rajon Rondo getting inside with a beautiful dish.
Oh, here's what we're talking about in pick-and-roll situations, whether it be Allen or Pierce with the basketball. They trap those guys. You got to delay, get rid of the basketball, and force the next guy to make the play. KG does that, puts the ball on the floor, and delivers it to Perkins.
Now, Perkins, the young man, 23 years old. This is his 5th year in the league. He's a veteran already, right from high school in Texas to the NBA. And both Perkins and Rondo last year, of course, played for a bad team that won 24 games. Young guys are kind of struggling, have their ups and downs, and now they're in the starting lineup for a team that's competing for a championship. And they just need good, solid play from Perkins, nothing special.
Well, he had one earlier, catch and finish around the basket. The last one, he got fouled. He had enough time to gather and get it in the hole.
Boy, Garnett has been a monster on the boards in the first 4 minutes. Pierce hits the 3. Paul Pierce lighting it up to start. And the Celtics lead by 8. Timeout, Cavaliers.
And what are the Celtics doing early? Putting the ball in the hands of Paul Pierce offensively. Rolling on an 8-0 run, and it starts and finishes with Paul Pierce. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Got a little speech from Doc Rivers before the game.
We got to dominate the glass tonight. You know that, all right? We got to dominate the glass. Every possession counts. We can't take one of those off, you know, and think it'll make up. That might be the difference. Trust your system, guys. Trust your teammates. But most importantly, trust yourselves. All right?
Dominating the glass, so important because in Game 6, that's where the Cavs really was able to take control. They're a great offensive rebounding team. One of the reasons they miss more shots than most people. They don't have a high field goal percentage, so more opportunities, but they do take advantage of those opportunities.
Well, I like what Doc Rivers said that, hey, what we've been preaching all season long, it mattered in Game 1. It does not change. Game 1 of the season, that is. It does not change since it's Game 7. Continuing to do the things that we've done all season long.
Shot clock winding down. Pierce badgering LeBron James, makes him take a bad shot, but Perkins touches it out of bounds. And they'll get a new 24. And when Doc Rivers first came here in Boston, he was obviously befriended by the late Red Auerbach, and Auerbach was a wonderful mentor to him. One of the things he told him was, keep it simple. Don't complicate things. And Rivers always remembers that, especially in a big Game 7 like this, where sometimes you don't want to overanalyze and throw too much at the players, Jeff.
I agree with that. The simpler, the better in the playoffs, particularly in closeout situations like this one is for both teams.
James looking to post up Pierce. Excellent defense from Pierce again. Makes him take another difficult shot. Here's Rondo. Coast to coast. Back pass for Pierce. Blocked by Ilgauskas. And it's still going to be Celtic ball. Doc Rivers wanted another foul. Pierce feeling he's getting hit on some of these.
Almost 6 minutes into this ball game, it's been Paul Pierce has been the best player on both ends of the floor, offensively, but also, more importantly, as Coach touched on, defensively, making life tough for LeBron.
Garnett, and that won't count. Perkins with a moving screen, and the Celtics turn it over. You know, we talk so much about the road difficulties through the playoffs, and certainly in this series, but the Cavs have had a couple of decent performances here in Boston. Game 1, they were right there, had a chance to win it. Game 5 here in Boston, they were up 14 in the first half. Perkins knocks it away. Ilgauskas gets it back. It's going to be a jump ball, and once again, it's like a rugby scrum if you fall down on the floor. Anything goes. Perkins and LeBron James exchanging some words.
Well, this is Game 7. If the ball hits the floor, what are you going to do? Watch. Perkins says, no, I'm going to jump in there. I'm going to be aggressive. Comes up with the jump ball against Ilgauskas.